I owe you guys a bit of an apology. You know, in this game, the game of Minecraft, where you start placing a block, and that one block turns into 2 blocks, the 2 blocks turn into 4 blocks. 4 blocks turn into 8 blocks, and before you know it, you've been placing blocks for the last couple of hours. And you haven't pressed the record button once in all that time. That's basically what happened with me and the storage room and basically the rest of the starter area as well. I just got so much in the mood of building. And a lot of it has been done on stream as well. You can catch me live on twitch.tv/vitugators_MC. But yeah, in the end we ended up with a, let's say, a 70% done starter base. One thing I always find very important, early game, mid game, late game, is having a decent storage system, and here in my starter area that was not different. So I have this pretty big wall of chests, wall of double chests, all labeled up with all the different stuff I will be needing. I have my stone chests, cobblestone, granite separately, and then on the other hand I have my mud bricks. I have a chest for all the iron, I have a chest for all the magma blocks, amethysts, wool blocks, mushroom blocks, everything you can think of has its own designated chest. And then a few extra like shelving units with chest for greenery stuff, and then a chest for like food and different like food items or mob drops or passive mob drops, hostile mob drops, you know, you name it. A little brewing area where I have my nether wart growing, storage for the nether wart, you know. A little brewing area. What I love the most about this area is that I came up with like this little water stream that runs through a crack in the wall into another wall and back there to another room basically. And it runs through this little brewing area, which also means that when I have like empty bottles, I can just do this. And in between every middle block in between 2 other water sources is an infinite water source. So I don't have to worry about water supplies here, because I always have water with me. Which is pretty neat. Another thing I often do, and people knowing my builds know I do this quite often, is to integrate workstations into my area. Like I did here, like I have my 2 anvils, which are usable and have been used. I have my stone cutter in the middle, and now it looks a bit like a more industrial, like table saw thing. I'm not too sure what it is, but it looks functional and mechanical, and that's a bit the idea I always go after. And then I have another shelving unit with a loom, and next to it I have a chest with my banner patterns, which is pretty limited at the time. Mob heads, and then the smithing table. Is this a smithing table? I don't know how are these called actually. Is it called a smithing table? It might as well be. I have to know now. Is this called a smithing table? It is called a smithing table. Okay, now we know that. Now we can continue. Sorry for that. So yeah, smithing table. Yet you might be like, oh, that's a lot of progress. It's a shame you haven't recorded any of this. It's more. Yeah, more happened. So every starter base needs a mine, because you need your early game diamonds, you know, and your early game gold and lapis, that kind of stuff. So I made a little mine shaft, but I do prefer having mines that are very easily accessible and quickly accessible. So I have this drop chute all the way down to Y level, I think this is -53. With a little of bulk storage. Where I store up like ore stuff, and then I have a chest with deep slate. Normal deep slate I have here as well. Yeah, normal deep slate. Tough and that kind of stuff. Tough and that kind of stuff. It rhymes. It's funny. And I can just go mining in my branch mine. And when I return, I dump everything in this double chest. They're still working on this. Oh, you guys are looking for an empty chest, of course, but there is no empty chest left. Oh, sorry guys, sorry. It's in this one. It's in this one, yeah. Try this one. They have been looking for the right chest for hours now, but I put something in every chest so they wouldn't just fill in. Oh. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. So sorry. Well, now you can continue working. But anyway, where was I? Yeah, quick way in and a quick way out. Because yeah, you don't really want to spend hours going back and forth to your mine. So, bubble column and a drop chute on one end, that really works. And of course, yeah, these two doors connect up to the main storage area. Yet then I built, or I dug a little deeper. As you can see, this is the unfinished part. Like this little smelter setup. It's not gonna be, it's not gonna stay like this. I mean, this is not really looking great, is it? And then we also have a little enchanting setup for my level 30 enchantments, which still needs to be decorated. I do want to build some bookshelves around this area, so it might look a bit more like a little library or stuff like that. And with the chiseled bookshelves, I can store my enchanted books in there. And for enchanting you need experience, and also for tool repairing and stuff like that. So the floor below this, which I've also done on stream. Oh, this is, by the way, part of the Blazing Caves achievement pack. If you place all the nether blocks in the overworld, you get, I think it was 6 ancient debris as part of the advancement pack. You of course need 1 to place down the first time, but yeah, once you place it down, and the soul fire is also one of the blocks, so you have to light one of these two on fire, but then you get the ancient debris basically for doing nothing. But this is my pièce de résistance. This is my experience farm, which is it's based on, well, most experience farm these days, especially the smaller ones, are all based on the invulnerable, or the mobs that don't take damage. So in this case I'm using armadillos because we're pretty close to a savanna biome, I think in that direction. So I have a few of them sitting on top of that campfire, which is currently turned off. Also a bit for, you know, with unloading of chunks, and I never take the risk, so I turn it off. And they're being scared by this zombie who's sitting below them. He's silenced, so you don't have to deal with the noise he makes all the time. And those would be like curled up. They're taking damage, and then you can splash them with a potion of infestation, which makes them spawn in a lot of, I'm gonna do it like this, a lot of silverfish and the silverfish fall dead in the water. The water flushes them into a corner, and with a sweeping edge sword, there you go, sharpness 5, sweeping edge 3, and breaking and mending, you can sweep away at the armor stand and you get the experience. I've tried 3 times in a row, I think, in creative, where I would start with 0 levels, and it would take less than a minute to get to 30. So yeah, you can say these farms are pretty powerful. And the thing is, like, the mechanic is pretty well known, but the way I set it up is, I would say, aesthetically a bit more pleasing than most farms. So if there are people interested in how I've been, or how I do this, or what the different designs can be for this experience farm, please let me know, and I might do a little tutorial on my channel. It is a fairly easy design. Like, these are dispensers on top, so these can be filled up. The buttons are both aesthetically... the buttons are both for aesthetic reasons and can be functional. By pressing them, you dispense what's in the dispenser. One of the 4. And the bottom ones are furnaces, just because they have the same texture on the backside, basically. And a bit cheaper than using droppers or dispensers for just decorational purposes. But yeah, it's a little centerpiece, and it's a 5x5 by 6 blocks, which fitted nicely in this room. So yeah, if you want to see a tutorial of that, please let me know. I'm more than happy to do that. In the meantime, Ginga Ninja is pretty in pink, apparently. The more you know, right? Talking about pink, little pink bed. We all love our pink down here in Alphacraft. So then you would be like, well, that's a lot of progress you made here. I mean, that should be it, right? How much more were you able to get done? Well, let's go outside for a minute. Because, yeah. A lot of it is also, again, a lot of it is done on stream. But, yeah. We've been working a bit. Let's just enter the area from the pathway, and then I'll run you through everything that's been done. So, of course, I have built this path, which is nice and wide and easily traversable by a horse. It's easy to get back to around the corner to Funky's, and it's easy to get basically everywhere from here. Then I also, this was my original mineshaft, and this one is now, if you look down, there was a... we might as well go down. Let's go and take a look. I'll show you guys. It is a bit weird to just zoom in and be like, oh yeah, it's down there, and you know, I did a thing, but yeah, I might as well show you guys. So, all the way down to basically bedrock, I dug straight into a amethyst geode, which I then decided to dig out and flood with water. So it's easy to get all the amethyst buds, I think. Yeah, they're easily reachable, and as you can see, if you do a full harvest on this with Fortune 3 or anything like that, you get a lot of amethyst shards, like a lot of them. So yeah, that was a little thing. And it also meant that this mineshaft kinda kept a purpose to it. Oh, why is it always raining in this game? I am recording! Anyway, further down the path, I did decide to build a little custom tree. Well, I say little. It turned out being pretty big. Let's see if I can sleep. Can I sleep this away? Yes, I can. That's a lot better. Yeah, that's a lot better. Right, so where were we? Yeah, so I have my little mineshaft down to the amethyst geode, and then over here I did some more terraforming along the path. I did like this little supporting wall. A bit of the hanging mud. Hanging mud? No, hanging roots? Hanging roots. Rooted dirt. That was the one I was thinking of. The mud bricks I love, together with the path blocks. And a bit of jungle wood to get a step up. And then here in the corner, Funky and I talked about it earlier. About how there was like a huge oak tree on this corner. And yeah, we decided, or I decided, to replace it with this pretty big custom palm tree. And I very much like it. Like, I have a little extra shading and color in it. The shape is like, this one bends over towards the water, and this one bends in like a weird curve over the path. Where the normal like dry leaves would be, I have the mangrove roots. And a bit of shading using azalea, oak leaves, and jungle leaves. And I think a few birch leaves as well. Yeah, more on the inside as well, like to darken it up a bit, where it would be more a shadowy part. So yeah, I very much enjoyed building this one. Most of it has been done in creative on forehand, and then built on the server to get the curves right and stuff like that. It's very easy to use a few creative tools like Axiom and stuff like that. But yeah, this is the exterior part. I found myself a few cats as well. Thinking about like maybe doing a little creeper farm, but then at the starter area that's not really needed to have one of those. But let's do a quick fly around. Let's show the area a bit. So we have the ship here. Sorry, we have the sloop here with the custom palm tree, with the pathways coming all the way down here, and then we have the custom. Then we have the little mine shaft going down to the amethyst geode. Just nicely decorated, a lot of foliage around it, grass, a bit of leaves here and there, you know. Yeah, everything that this area needed to feel more complete. And it fits nicely with the area of Funky, with Funky's bridge down here. And then on the other side, yeah, this is still in progress. We still need to connect us up to Richard's place down there, down the road. But yeah, we made some great progress on this end. Now, the only thing we were left to do, or yeah, the only thing, there's of course multiple things left to do. But one of the things that was left to do was to upgrade our armor a bit. You know, when you have a starter base like this, you can't be running around in diamond armor, can you? Should I mention right now that I haven't tested this yet?
Abort.
There is no abort button as well. I forgot to implement that one.
I'm still yet to die, and I do not want to die.